Folks, I know I'm late to the party, but we have to talk about the Vanity Fair photographs because I have made my living as a photographer for 30 years, so I know what this dude was doing. There are a million different ways to speak in photography. Every inch of the frame can tell you something, and this dude did not waste any space whatsoever, and he made a statement in pretty much every one. Now, obviously, the close-up of Carolyn Levitt is hysterical, but it is incredibly telling to see her gender-affirming lip injections, and I think basically what it says is, we see you, Caroline. You can't get away from us. You think you're being obtuse, but we see every last pore of what you are doing, Chiquita. Yeah. Same thing with JD Vance. You can't hide. We can see every little bit of your mendacity, and we perceive you as perpetually having a sour face. The full-length shot of JD says a little bit more to me. Now, this is what I would call an environmental portrait because the environment is speaking a lot. Notice how the photographer stuck JD Vance right in the middle of the frame, and he failed to crop out the chair and the lamp, the edge of the chair and the lamp on the right side of the frame. Yeah, and then the left side of the frame, he's flanked by a flag. To me, that says he's part of the furniture. He's not important. In fact, in this photograph, JD's head is as important as the light switch and the thermostat. Also notice the power stance with the little pinky. Yeah, that's a little bit of a contradiction, isn't it? Well, the close-up of Stephen Miller looks a lot like a very bad dude. And I think you all know who I'm talking about. Notice how the photographer side-lit this piece to get all that texture, to make sure that all those wrinkles were really highlighted. Notice how it's split light, so it sort of indicates maybe a little bit of a split personality, right? Notice how there is no highlight in the eye whatsoever. Both eyes, completely in shadow. When people look at you, they want to see your eyes. If they can't see your eyes, they can't trust you. A way to highlight the eye is by making sure that there's a highlight in the eye. The highlight is the light source, reflecting. See, you can see mine. I'm using a ring light. It's circular. Yeah. Now let's look at his environmental portrait. Side lighting, making sure those creases in the forehead are standing out. But I love the little bulge of the belly in this picture because we all know that that is something that he's going to be embarrassed about. And the photographer made sure that that was exposed, didn't he? He also kind of dwarfed Stephen Miller by the very large painting over his head. Looks a little precarious, right? Like if that painting fell on his head, oh, that would hurt. But it does make him look small, doesn't it? And the Susie Wiles picture, I have never seen a more deer in the headlights picture. She's supposed to be this very private person. She's supposed to be completely comfortable, but here she is exposed and she is looking shocked. She doesn't know what to do. She's in fight or flight stage. And then her environmental portrait, oh my goodness, look at that. She looks like a piece of the furniture, just like JD Vance did, doesn't she? And there's that light switch competing for attention. Million different ways the photographer could have done this differently. If he wanted her to look powerful in that space, he could have had her step forward. He could have used a shallow depth of field. He could have covered up that light switch. He could have made sense of where she's standing in the room. Why is she standing in that spot? That's an odd spot for her to stand, isn't it? Who's going to come around that corner? Who's she waiting to serve? There's a lot of things happening in that picture. Now let's look at the broad shot. Obviously, JD Vance is there twice. He kind of looks like a split personality. He can't decide who he is. He wants to be on this side. He wants to be on that side. Also, let's look at how the two women are arranged. They kind of look like they're just a mirror image of each other, don't they? The old and the young in the administration. Very intentional to put them in that spot. And how funny that the little guy behind him can barely see over their shoulders. Let's look at Marco Rubio's environmental portrait. Oh my goodness, look at all that space above him. Look at how small he looks in that frame. He looks about the same size as that lamp, huh? He can't even face the camera. He's looking at his feet. He's got to make sure he's still standing up. This is not about him. This is about all the space around him. This is about how small he is in his position. Notice how the picture's off kilter a little bit? Yeah, the horizon is a little bit slanted. That makes things look unstable, doesn't it? He's kind of in a corner, isn't he? Yeah, sort of pushed in there. Nobody really knows why he's over there. Does he look like he has a purpose? Nope. Sorry, Marco. Now let's look at James Blair. This one in particular is kind of genius, isn't it? He's not even real. He's not even there. He very well could have been a work of art on the wall. Yeah. Notice how his gaze takes your eyes off the frame. Sort of makes you think that he doesn't want to be there. He's dreaming of being in another place. Genius, right? Now notice this one. Boy, doesn't that chair look a little bit like a cane? Don't you love the plugs at the bottom? We've got a little bit of the furniture on each side. He's even behind the furniture. That makes him less important. He just looks incredibly awkward, doesn't he? All of that is a choice. Anywho, that's my assessment. Let me know what you guys think. Love ya.